Await everyone, this is Regulus Pastor. Welcome back to Higurashi no Naku Koro nii. This is Tatarigoroshi-hen, the third story arc. And it's getting interesting. Because, Keiichi is planning to, kill Satoko's abusive uncle. To rescue not only Satoko, but the good times that all of them have had as friends before he came back into the picture. So, it's going to be really interesting. We'll see how it all comes together. He has the motive. The means and the method are yet to be determined. So, let's just see. Okay. We probably have some tips to read as well. Emergency. June 18th, 1983. Abuse issues regarding Hojo Satoko. Urgent. We propose that Hojo Satoko must be taken into immediate custody based on the items below. 1. Family situation. Life with adoptive father who recently returned to Hinamizawa has already turned disastrous, and she is currently subject to unendurable physical and mental abuse from the father. 2. Child Consultation Center's response. A child probation officer was dispatched yesterday on the 17th from the prefecture welfare office, but because of the 77 case, changed to continued coaching and cautionary action. Unfortunately, the consultation office head does not properly understand the situation. 3. Status of concerned child. Child already appears to be suffering from an outbreak of something close to neurosis or manic depression. If her unstable pubescent mind is negatively stimulated by stress, it will put her development of a healthy body and mind at risk. This cannot be allowed to continue from a humane standpoint. 4. Allegations made to the family court. We propose, based on the above items, that Hojo Satoko should be immediately taken into protective custody. She should be secured temporarily under emergency allegations to the family court under Article 28. We request emergency coordination between all related agencies. D23, number 44. Fukujisho D23, number 44. 1977. Child name, Hojo Satoko. Years old. Residence, Hinamizawa Village, Shishibone. 1. Consultation circumstances. Telephone SOS from child of child abuse. 2. Abuse situation. Child claims she is being physically abused by her adoptive father. 3. Family structure. Circle marks abusers. Adoptive father, circle. Real mother. Older brother, child in question. Note: adoptive father and real mother entered family registry in 19... The child is the daughter of the mother's previous husband. 4. Child Consultation Center's response. On the day of the child's telephone consultation, the center called the child's school and asked of her situation. On that day, the child welfare officer on duty visited the child's house and conducted an interview. The adoptive father sincerely listened to instruction and agreed to take child-raising workshops in the city from now on. As part of the suggested coaching, the center will continue to observe the situation. Alright. 5. Other notes. As a result of numerous counseling sessions at the city's education consultation office regarding the child, we learned there was a high possibility the cause of the child's excessive distrust toward her adoptive father was the result of a lack of communication. The abuse she had claimed hadn't actually taken place. She had made a false report to distance herself from her adoptive father. Below is a note written in pencil by the person on duty at the time. The problem appeared to be more with the daughter. Chief investigator of the city's education consultation office said that most of her stories of abuse were likely fabrications. They decided to shift the focus of their coaching to the child. Be cautious not to take everything the child says as truth. Okay. Shows a little more detail as to what we already knew, that the Child Consultation Center wasn't taking this present case seriously because the previous case was, or rather, the case before the previous case, was trumped up by Satoko. Okay, so let us continue. Mion and the others, having to set up for the Tatarigoroshi festival or something, invited me along, but I refused. Of course I did. How could they be taking it easy and setting up for a festival in this situation? Mion had a lot of nerve. The first thing I did when I got back was take a shower. Not because I wanted to wash off sweat. It was because I wanted to be even calmer. I already understood this, but killing that man would be so very easy. The really hard thing would be not getting arrested for it, so we could get our peaceful days back. As I thought about it, I realized it wasn't easy. Japan's police force had the highest arrest rate in the world. I would need to deceitfully pull off a perfect crime, and it couldn't be a half-hearted attempt. Still, it wasn't 100%. Even the best police force in the world couldn't have a 100% arrest rate. I've read a lot of articles on trials with people brought up on false charges. They do a lot to determine whether they were really false accusations, but figuring out who the real criminal was is usually out of the question. And that meant perfect crimes did exist. In fact, perfect crimes were sort of like works of art. They could even be respected and revered. We just had to look at the inundation of mystery novels everywhere throughout history. They dealt with all sorts of difficult-to-solve incidents, involving secret rooms and alibis and stuff. But they all wanted to show one thing. They wanted to show the beauty of a perfect crime. There was something divine in the flawlessness of the word perfect. Yes, perfect crimes were skills of the gods. And in that sense, the serial freak deaths they were calling the curse of Oyashiro-sama, I understood. They must have been the works of gods. Each one appeared to have been resolved, but they couldn't stop it from happening every year. Yeah, skills belonging only to gods. Those are perfect crimes. And I would be setting up my own crime before Oyashiro-sama's series of perfect crimes 4 years in the running. If I were to put it boldly, I was challenging a god. Foolhardiness would be needed to make the decision. But I needed to be calm, cool, colder than ice to put that plan together. Kill him like a flame, but as systematic as ice. Starting now, I need to retain both of those ideas within me. Modeling my crime after a mystery novel wasn't actually a bad thing to focus on. Sometimes, Kidnappings involving disturbing original methods that made it into the newspaper were used as a basis for novels after the person was arrested. Stuff like that made it into the news. Day and night, for a very long time, mystery novel authors polished and refined their most fantastic artistic crimes. Imitating that could be a shortcut to planning the perfect crime in a short period of time. Of course, I haven't read enough mystery novels to act all high and mighty about them. The one who really liked mystery novels was my mom. She'd read every well-known mystery novel from overseas, from past and present. Every time she watched mystery shows, she would always criticize them as having cheap tricks or being poorly thought out. I wonder, what the perfect crime would mean to her?
これまでの推理小説の中で、母さんが一番よくできたと思った完全犯罪？
What do I think the most well-done perfect crime in all the mystery novels I've read is?
うん。
Yeah.
母さんって結構たくさん推理小説を読んでるでしょ。
Well, you read quite a lot of them, right?
そういうの詳しいかなって思って。
I figured you might know a lot about them.
それを読むから楽しいのよ。
It's more fun to read than to find out.
初めからトリックを教えちゃったら楽しみがなくなっちゃうわ。
If I told you all the tricks right off the bat, they'd be no fun anymore. It wasn't like I was asking for my own amusement. She was deflecting the question, so I'd somehow butter her up first and draw out an answer.
そうね。よくできた推理小説。
Of course. Well done mystery novels. Yeah.
結構どれもこれもいろんな魅力があって、どれが面白かったとは言いにくいけど、強いてあげれば。
They all have a unique charm to them, so it's hard to say which is the most interesting. You'd really have to force me to pick one.
母さんの好きな小説のタイトルが知りたいんじゃないよ。
I didn't want to know which novels you liked.
母さんが一番舌を巻いた完全トリックが知りたいんだよ。
I wanted to know about the trick that made you the most surprised.
本当に完全なトリックだったら名探偵に解く余地がないじゃない。
If it was really a perfect trick, the detectives wouldn't be able to solve the case, though. That was true. Then there'd be no point.
推理小説は解ける謎をいかに解くかの過程を楽しむものよ。
Mystery novels are enjoyable because of the process of the mysteries getting solved.
解けない謎だったらそれは推理小説の題材になり得ないわね。
If it was unsolvable, it wouldn't make a very good topic for a novel.
そっか。
I get it.
そりゃそうだよな。
Yeah, you're right.
主人公に解けなかったらお話として成立しないもんな。
I voiced those first two sentences wrong. I get it. Yeah, you're right. If a main character can't solve it, it wouldn't be much of a story, huh? Was I being too simplistic? A mystery novel was basically a game. They were written so that you could get to the goal, so that you could solve them. But I couldn't use something so optimistic. Hold on, let me clear my throat. It needed to be the be-all, end-all of tricks so that we could, without a doubt, return to our old lives.
ということはケイチ。
By the way, Keiichi.
真の完全犯罪は物語にすらならないというのがわかるかしら？
Do you understand that truly perfect crimes don't even become stories? Mom looked at me intellectually and grinned impishly. I'd never gotten to read it, but apparently one time a long time ago, Mom had written her own mystery novel and submitted it for some mystery novel award. Apparently she was really into it. Don't even become stories? What does that mean?
ケイチ、物語の最低構成要素は？
Keiichi, what are the essential parts of a story?
起承転結。
A beginning, a middle, and an end?
正解。
Correct.
特に肝心なのは当たり前だけど、木に当たる部分よ。
The beginning, of course, is especially important.
スタートの木がなかったら、そもそも物語は始まらない。
If there is no beginning, then the story never starts.
そりゃそうだよ。
Oh, well, yeah.
何も起こらなかったら 何も始まらない。
If nothing happened, nothing would begin.
そう。
Right.
何も起こらないから事件にもならない。
Nothing happened, so there wouldn't even be an incident.
探偵も呼ばれないから推理もない。
Detectives wouldn't be called, so there wouldn't be any mystery.
推理がないなら解決もない。
There would be no mystery, so there would be no solution.
つまり、これが究極の完全犯罪。
In other words, it would be the ultimate perfect crime.
ちょっと待って。
Wait a second.
もう一度説明してくれるかな。
Could you explain that again? My mom just told me something absurd. And she was saying it so smoothly too, so I kind of tuned her out. But she said something extremely important just now.
そんな難しい話じゃないわよ。
It's not really that difficult to understand.
そもそも事件が発覚しなければいいだけの話。
The incident just has to never come to light, that's all.
そもそも発覚しない事件。
It just has to never come to light.
つまり、例えばよ。
For example, how about this?
誰も立ち入らない深い森の奥で、おじいさんが一人暮らしをしているとする。
Say there's an old man living deep in a forest nobody goes into.
うん。
そのおじいさんがある日、斧で殺されました。
And one day the old man gets killed by an axe.
ちなみに犯人は、じゃあ、おじいさんの息子ね。
And, let's say the criminal was the old man's son.
おじいさんの家に来て一緒にお酒を飲んでいたんだけど、ちょっと喧嘩になって殺してしまった。
He went to the old man's house and they were drinking together, but they got into a fight and he killed him. What an extremely cheap plot. It was an impulsive crime without a bit of planning. It was pretty far from a perfect crime.
でも圭一、
But Keiichi,
そこはとてもとても深い森の中の一軒家なの。
the house was really, really deep in this forest.
普段は絶対に誰も訪れない深い山奥の深い深い森の中。
So deep in the mountains that nobody would ever go out that far.
さて、殺した息子は町に帰ってきてこう言うの。
Then his son would go back to town and say
おじいさんは元気だったって。
that the old man was doing fine.
それのどこが完全犯罪なの？
What about that is a perfect crime?
圭一、
Keiichi,
この事件はね、おじいさんが殺されているのが見つかって初めて機を迎えるのよ。
this incident would only begin when it was found out that the old man was killed.
もしもこの後、誰もおじいさんの家を訪れなかったら、
If
永久に機は訪れない。
If nobody ever visited the old man's house after that, that beginning would never occur. The beginning would never occur.
だからつまり物語は始まらない。
So basically, the story wouldn't start.
事件が発覚しないから探偵も呼ばれない。
The incident wouldn't come to light, and they wouldn't call in detectives.
そもそも誰も不審に思わないから謎も起こらない。
And nobody would be suspicious in the first place, so there'd be no mystery.
おじいさんは今日も一人でのんびり森の奥で暮らしているんだろうね。
They'd think the old man was still living by himself deep in the forest.
で、お空におじいさんの顔が浮かんで、ジエンド。
And the old man's face would appear in the sky, and that would be it.
どう？こんな感じで。
Something like that, you know.
すごいじゃないか。
That's amazing.
それちゃんとしたトリックだよ。
That's a pretty great trick.
でも娯楽小説にはならないわね。
But it wouldn't be a novel.
推理小説は所詮娯楽書。
Mystery novels are for entertainment after all.
完全犯罪の指南書にはなり得ないんだから。
They can't be instruction manuals for perfect crimes. I was trying hard to talk cheerfully to fool her, but inside I was excited. Special tools, strange geography, mysterious drugs, traps involving huge sums of cash. None of them were needed for perfect crimes. The important thing was that there wasn't a beginning. As long as the incident didn't come to light, it would be fine. Speaking broadly, if I could kill him without anyone finding out, and dispose of the corpse somewhere where no one could find, it would basically already be a perfect crime. Of course, if someone up and vanished one day all of a sudden, people would get suspicious. But that didn't apply to this man. Last year, after their aunt died, he ran away from the village in fear of Oyashiro-sama. When the night of Watanagashi came around again, everyone would have to think that he ran away in fear again. I mean, he had been living with a lover of his in town. No matter what it felt like when he vanished, no one would be suspicious. People hated him, after all. No one would care where he went if he disappeared. When I thought about it like that, it got easier and easier to imagine killing him. There was no point in thinking inside my house anymore. I left, getting my bike out of the garage. For now, it didn't matter where I was going. I just rode through the wind, trying to calm my excitement by feeling the cool air on my body. Where I'd kill him, how I'd do it, what time, and how to dispose of the corpse. If I just had those 4 things, I could get a good plan going. I was so surprised at how little there was to decide that I shivered. I'd been completely prepared to build this humongous plan over a really long period of time. But if I could just get these little things in order, I could put it into motion. Today was Saturday. I would have to kill him on the night of Watanagashi, so as long as I was standing in for Oyashiro-sama, I only had 24 hours remaining. Satoko. Just hang on. For 24 more hours. I can't even imagine having to suffer through even more. But please, hold out for a little longer. I know you can't even last another second. I know that. But please, just hold out. Your nii-nii will save you for sure. Outside, it was still early enough for the cicadas to be crying. Early afternoon. Evening was still a long way off. I looked at the sky. At some point it had gotten cloudy. Come to think of it, as I left the house, I heard on the TV that the weather forecast was calling for a chance of rain on Sunday. The sky was the color of lead. If I heard a little bit of thunder, I'd definitely have expected a sudden evening shower. My first destination was school. Before explaining why I was going there, I needed to explain what method for killing that man I had decided upon. I had decided that the most suitable death, the one I needed to give him, was the same as last year's curse. The same as the punishment their aunt had received. Being beaten to death. Wouldn't beating him to death be somewhat unreliable? You may think that stabbing him with a blade would be more reliable. But this was something I had chosen after a lot of thought. You just needed to think realistically. The law. They prohibited carrying any blades longer than 10 centimeters, I think. So the blades available to me, though long enough, were limited to things shorter than a ruler. You can probably understand how tricky it would be with such a short reach to go up against an opponent that might fight back. In that case, using a weapon with reach would be far more effective. It might not have the same precision, but you just had to hit the guy until you killed him. Both options resulted in death. With that settled, what is the weapon with the most terrifying force behind it that is also easy to carry around? By this point, you should immediately think of a metal baseball bat. I don't need to explain how terrifying a metal baseball bat can be as a weapon. Of special note is the fact that you can carry one around in broad daylight and not be thought of as suspicious, starting to overlap with Onikakushi-hen here. Just a different victim. Just those 2 points would have been enough to choose a metal bat for my weapon, and in the first arc he was speaking about self-defense. But there was one more reason for choosing a metal bat in particular. I will speak about it later. After school that Saturday, my classmates were still having fun, playing in the schoolyard. I could show up there and it would be the same as always, so nobody will think I'm suspicious. Getting my hands on the weapon without looking suspicious was actually a factor I couldn't ignore. I didn't normally play baseball, so if I went to a sports store looking for a metal bat, it would definitely be suspicious. I can't let there be a beginning to the story, so I needed to be really careful even about that. That left school. At a location in which my appearance wouldn't be suspicious, I would acquire the weapon. I checked inside the classroom through the window, but of course there was nobody there. The only students who would stay in there were me and the others, when doing club activities. Without us, the classroom after school was just an empty, unused room. Without glancing around nervously, as if I'd just gone to get something I'd forgotten, I casually went in the entrance. It looked like the teacher was busy with paperwork in the teacher's lounge. I didn't see her in the hallway. Naturally, yet quickly as a shadow, I entered the classroom. The empty room was full of a strange, stagnant air that you couldn't feel normally. An empty classroom, with nobody here. Maybe while no one was around. The desks creep about of their own accord, licking the floors clean of dirt. If I suddenly stepped into a place like that, would the desks, in their surprise, fly at me? Crush my bones? And eat me alive?
バカバカしい。
That's ridiculous. I felt regret at wasting valuable thinking time on stupid delusions. The students' lockers were lined up in the back of the classroom. The one I was looking for wasn't my own. It was a forbidden locker. One I had accidentally discovered one day.
あった。北条。
Here it is. Hojo.
間違いない。
This has to be it. If one person has one locker, then why would only Satoko have two? I had made a fuss about it once. After that, I learned it was Satoshi's locker, and he had the same last name as her. But of course, even though it was a locker for a student no longer here, looking inside it was still a shameless act. But one time, I let my curiosity get the better of me and took a peek inside. Inside, it was average and worthless. At the time I hadn't been interested, so until now I'd forgotten what had been in it. But now that I had, dare I say it, awakened, I remembered the thing that had been there. I opened the locker, and a stench of mold and sweat wafted out, like a gym storehouse that hadn't been cleaned in weeks. My face puckered up at the stench, but I looked for it. Yes. Satoshi was on Coach's baseball team. Inside the locker was a Hinamizawa fighter's uniform. And it. The one Satoshi used. The metal bat. Yes. This was the reason I wanted to choose this bat. This murder would be carried out by me. But this wasn't originally my role. It was Satoshi's. But I would stand in for him and call myself Satoko's nii-nii. It was one of the rules. For standing in for him. I reached for the metal bat and grasped it firmly. It was light. And yet, its tip had enough heft in it. Enough to easily imagine the horror if I brought it down with all my might. Satoshi, I'll give you one last chance to save your sister. Lend me your strength. You're a coward, but I will stand in for you. So if you still care even a little bit about her, you will lend me your strength. There's no more suitable weapon in the world for putting that man to death than your bat. Now, I just needed to figure out where to hide it. Tomorrow, before the act, I would just stop by the school and grab it. Because I couldn't ignore the possibility someone would see me bringing it home and think it was strange. But if I left it here, there wouldn't be a problem. Plus, tomorrow was Sunday. Not only that, it was the day of the biggest festival in the whole village. Nobody would be coming to school. I left out the entrance and went over to a construction vehicle parked nearby. We'd been warned by our teacher not to touch it, just for laughs, so none of the kids would come near the vehicle either. They wouldn't, because if she found out they touched it, they'd be in huge trouble. I quietly hid it, in the shadow of the vehicle. The chances of someone operating the vehicle tomorrow were slim to none, because tomorrow was Sunday. Government workers had the day off, and from what my classmates had said, the thing had been left here for years now. Machines that haven't been moved in years. You can't just suddenly start them up again. So I was almost definitely fine in this case. The sunlight was piercingly hot. My head grew faint for a moment. Had the heat been this harsh for the entire day? A moment of dulled thoughts like this was a moment of carelessness. I gave myself a couple hits in the head, hopefully not with a bat, then looked around warily. Okay. Next, how to dispose of the corpse. Higurashi no Naku Koro nii. Disposing of the corpse. The ultimate way not to create a beginning was to not let the corpse be found. It was even more important than killing him. Thinking on it vaguely, the first thing that came to mind was the swamp. Onigafuchi, the dreadful bottomless swamp revered even now, that appeared in the legends of Onigafuchi village. Yes, the swamp called Onigafuchi was here first, and then the village took its name to become Onigafuchi village. In other words, this swamp was the origin of Onigafuchi village. No one, no matter who it was, would float back to the surface of this bottomless swamp. Everyone would be swallowed down into the land of the demons below the earth. That was how the stories went. If I was trying to copy Oyashiro-sama's curse, then I felt that theory demanded I discard the remains and the weapon into the swamp. But they may have said it's bottomless, but I didn't actually know. There's a dead tree standing right in the middle of it. Of course, it's not bottomless. And people say large creatures like humans produce a lot of gas when they rot, granting a lot of buoyancy. It was why using fairly heavy objects to hold people down didn't work. Come to think of it, with the curse the year before last, Yurika-chan's mother drowned herself in this swamp. And the criminal behind the dismemberment that went missing the year of the first curse too. It was rumored he tried to discard the body in the swamp and accidentally drowned in it. I never heard of the corpse coming back up or them finding it. Then, shouldn't I choose to discard the corpse there too? I could discard the weapon there. And then, for example, if her uncle came out on a motorbike and attacked, it would be convenient to get rid of the bike too. I knew that Satoko's uncle generally used a motorcycle for transportation. But as for the corpse, after a lot of worrying, I decided not to discard the corpse in the swamp. The drowning, suicide, and accident were both rumors. Nobody knew if they'd actually happened. There were no lack of false rumors about the drowning suicide anyway, and it was possible the murderer had drowned there and was still on the run. That meant no one had ever confirmed a corpse being dropped in there and then not coming back up. And what would I do with the body? I thought it might be interesting to go with the first incident, cut him to pieces and hide him. The preparation and work for dismembering a human body would be difficult, given the amount of time I had. With that out of the question, I arrived at the conclusion to go with a more orthodox method of burying the body. Then where would I bury it? It was a question related to where I would kill him. Of course, I wanted to keep my time and proximity to the body at a minimum. With that in mind, I would want to dig the hole to dump the body in beforehand, and to make the location of the act and the hole close together. The choice of where to plan the crime, that I needed to be absolutely careful and thorough with. It had to be somewhere nobody would witness it, and a place with hiding in places for a sneak attack. I could dig a hole for the body right there. I go over the possibilities in my head of various destinations her uncle would head to from Satogo's house. I imagined a map of the area in my head, and then I found a place that fulfilled those conditions so easily it was almost unbelievable. A bit of a back road that went through the woods. I didn't think her uncle would go deeper into the mountains of Yagoichi on a whim. If he was going somewhere, he'd pass through these woods first. And nobody used this back way unless they had something to do at Satogo's house or one or two other places. This path was fantastically ideal, as few people used it. I would wait for him, in these woods. Would an ambush actually be possible? I went into the trees and tried really hiding myself in a few places. It was extremely quiet. My senses could be sharpened here to the maximum amount. I didn't know when he'd come, but I'd wait right here for Satogo's uncle. I don't think, doing that, seeing how quiet it is at any random time of the day would be a good way to tell. I mean, birds come and, do their mating calls. I remember last time I went camping, which was several years ago, there's a whippoorwill who come pretty darn near 9:15 every night and start doing its mating call. That had never happened before. It's the same camping space that we picked every time. But yeah, there's no certainty that it'll be all quiet, tomorrow night when you're going, here in the afternoon of this day. I actually had some trouble coming to that decision. The question arose of whether I should somehow call the man out. Was there a risk I'd be taking by luring him here? That man made Satogo do all the shopping and errands. He seldom left on his own business. He wouldn't leave, unless I worked out a plan to force him to. Would he? That was the question. Tomorrow was the Watanagashi festival. Would he go out for the festival, or would he stay inside? If he stayed inside, how would I drag him out of his house? That's right. Wouldn't he make Satogo go to the festival? Satogo would go to the festival. Meanwhile, I would call the man. This is the Okinomiya police station. We have the young lady from your house. Could you come and pick her up immediately? It didn't even have to be the police. This is the clinic. The young lady from your house has been injured. Please come and pick her up. Yes, that will work too. If they claimed to be the police of the hospital, told him to come and then hung up on him. He'd rush there trying to figure out what was going on, wouldn't he? And just the other day he was visited by a probation officer. He wouldn't suddenly grumble about having to get his niece and not go. It would look like child neglect. The man had no skills useful around the house. Satogo, his slave, was an essential part of his daily life. Conclusion. If we went out to the festival, I would attack him here on his way there or back. If he didn't, I would lure him out by phone. If luring him out by phone was my first step, I needed to be sure Satogo would go to the festival, leaving the house. It would be convenient if I could make Mion take Satogo to the festival. She said her aunt was the district welfare officer. In other words, an ally to the probation officer. If I somehow incited Mion to take Satogo to the festival with her, well, being who she was, she'd use that fact and get her there. Satogo should just take a break and have fun at the festival with everyone. She should have a good time, reminisce on our former peaceful days. And when she went home, everything would be over. Yeah, that would be the best outcome. With that decided, I needed to dig a hole somewhere in the woods to hide the body, so it wouldn't stand out, so it wouldn't be found. Someplace nobody would see me while I was completely exposed as I buried the corpse. I had wanted it to be close to the scene of the crime, but it naturally grew farther away. forest. The voices of the Higurashi were the only sounds here, informing me that people shouldn't indiscreetly set foot in this place.
穴を掘るか。
Digging a hole, huh? Digging a hole with so many tree roots crawling around the ground would be far more difficult than I had envisioned. I snuck a gardening spade out here in my bag, but that wouldn't be enough. Still, as I looked into various approaches, I managed to find a place I could dig into. Tomorrow I'd bring a real shovel from the storeroom at home. I'd manage with that. I wondered how big a hole would have to be to fit a human all the way into it. I'd probably have to dig pretty deep down, but if I was slipshod in these efforts, I'd let a beginning occur. I absolutely couldn't allow that. Use any amount of time you need to. I mustn't spare any effort to utterly erase him. I glanced at my wristwatch. It was a little past 6. This is probably all I was going to get done here for today. I really wanted to dig the hole in advance tonight, even if it got dark out. My mom would be upset if I stayed out that late. It wouldn't be good to come off as suspicious to my parents. I needed to go back home and give Mion a call soon. I needed to get her to promise Satoko to take her by tonight. After that, today would be done. Done. Would it be, though? Was this really everything I could do to prepare right now? I decided where to kill him. I decided how to kill him. I decided, of course, how to dispose of the body. I didn't decide on a time, but I would play that by ear. I didn't have a way to decide that. Was that really all? Was this really all right? Have I overlooked anything? Would this really go how I planned? After all this, worries started welling up one after another. It was only natural I'd be anxious. This would be the first and last big job of my lifetime. I could not allow failure, and I had no experience as this was my first time. I didn't have the know-how, the knack, so it was only natural I'd be anxious. The dark clouds of unease told me doing nothing would be the easiest way. A truly pathetic suggestion this late in the game. Have you forgotten how miserable Satoko looked? From the outside, it may have looked like I was resolute, but deep in my heart, my knees were shaking loudly. I've never actually won a single fight to my satisfaction. Could I really kill someone? I may have been planning an ambush, but my enemy was large and far older than me. He had a scary face, and he looked like he was well accustomed to fighting. Could I have... All the pieces before and after the murder were perfectly planned. But was the actual murder, the most important part, what unsettled me the most? All my preparations, all of my perfectly concealed machinations. If I didn't successfully murder him, they amounted to nothing. Darn it! After coming this far, you're pathetic, my Keiichi. If you have to start these kinds of second thoughts, your ulterior motive will be obvious. Let's go home. Go home and calm your mind. Tomorrow will be a juncture in your life, the likes of which graduation, employment, marriage, and childbirth couldn't hold a candle to. A day of murder. To kill someone for someone else's sake. With that day behind us, we would take it back again. Those mild, spring-like days we never thought would stop. Those safe, peaceful fun times. I pedaled my bicycle hard to get back home. I felt somehow unsteady, like my body and soul were in alignment. A subtle shift between where the tips of my hands and feet really were and where I felt them to be. My vision was a little distant and narrow, as if the great barrier I risked my future life on had nothing to do with me. An unreal sensation. How could I put it? Everything was so far away. Fine. Feel your unease permeate you, my Keiichi. If that will turn your timidity into meticulousness and allow you to act with greater caution, then it's actually an important emotion to feel. feeling I had. Never ran away that night. It was the first time I'd be calling Mion's house. I searched for her in the phone book the school gave me. They dialed a short phone number, the kind unique to remote places. It was around dinner time. She would probably be home. But just as I started to think nobody would respond, someone finally picked up the receiver.
はい、その時です。
Hold on, I need a phone simulator. If you're not sure what a phone simulator looks like, something like this. A piece of paper, any piece of paper.
Hello, this is Sonozaki.
あ、夜分遅くにすみません。
Oh, I'm sorry for calling so late at night.
ミオンか？
Is this Mion?
どちら様です？
Huh? May I ask who's calling?
俺だよ、ケイチだ。
It's me, Cage.
ああ、ケイちゃんか。
Ah. Oh, Kei-chan!
何こんな時間に。
It's pretty late. What's up?
She seemed to be in a weirdly good mood, and she drew her syllables out. Right. It's the night before tomorrow's festival, so she's probably with her family having some drinks.
悪いな、こんな時間に。
Sorry for the late call.
今、時間は大丈夫か？
Do you have time right now?
うん。何？
Sure. What is it?
サトコのことなんだけど。
It's about Satoko. I heard her draw on a small breath on the other end.
さとこ、大変なことになっちゃったね。
Satoko. She's in a pretty bad spot.
大丈夫かな？
I hope she's okay.
The scent of sake had completely disappeared from her voice.
大丈夫なわけないだろ。
She can't be okay.
お前も見ただろ。
You saw too, didn't you?
あれ、
What she was like?
あんな、擦り切れるまでにいじめ抜かれて。
What? Why am I hearing the radio effect on Cage's side of the phone call? She was completely worn out from all the abuse.
俺たちはあんなになるまでずっと見捨ててきた。
We failed her all this time, and now she's become like that.
見捨ててたわけじゃないよ。
We didn't fail her.
みんな助けようとして必死に考えてたよ。
Everyone tried their hardest to help her.
でも結局何も思いつかなかったし、サトコを救えたわけじゃないだろ。
But we didn't come up with anything, and we couldn't save her.
結局あんなになるまで俺たちは何もできなかった。
In the end, we couldn't do anything about it, and now she's become like that.
そうだね。
I guess you're right.
私は結局見てただけかも。
All I did was watch after all.
だからさ、
So, well,
せめて一夜くらい遊ばせてやろうじゃないか。
at least... Couldn't we at least let her have fun for one night?
遊ばせるって。
Huh? Let her have fun.
あいつもいろいろと参ってるのわかるだろ。
She's been so battered lately, you understand.
だからさ、
That's why.
明日の綿流しのお祭りにあいつを連れて行ってやってほしいんだ。
I want you to take her to the Watanagashi festival tomorrow.
それは構わないけど。
I don't mind.
Oh, sorry. Let me try it again.
I don't mind.
どうして？
But why?
どうしてって、
Why?
せめて祭りの夜くらい息抜きさせてやりたいじゃないか。
I want to give her a breather at least for the festival night, you know?
たとえ一夜でもあの意地悪なおじの元から離れられるなら、短い時間でもきっとサトコは喜ぶ。
Even if it's just one night, if she can get away from her evil uncle. then I think she'll be happy, even if it's only for a little while.
だからどうして？
Yes, but why?
どうしてって何がだよ。
Why? Why what? I was having a little difficulty understanding what Mion was asking me.
どうして？
Why? Well,
ケイちゃんが連れて行ってあげないの？
I mean, why don't you bring a K-chan?
私に頼まなきゃならないの？
Why do you need to ask me to do it?
Mion was persistent about odd things. No, maybe it'd be better to say that she was sharp.
俺実はちょっと明日は用事があってさ。
I actually have something to do tomorrow.
祭りには行けない。
I can't make it to the festival.
だからサトコミオンが連れて行ってやってほしい。
So I wanted you to take Satoko there for me.
用事って。
Something to do?
大した用事じゃないんだ。
It's nothing major.
多分すぐに片付くと思うけど、ひょっとすると明日は合流できないかもしれない。
I'll probably finish quickly, but I might not be able to meet up with you all tomorrow.
なあミオン、
Hey, Mion,
明日の夜だけサトコを頼めないか。
could I leave Satoko to you just for tomorrow night? Mion took a long time to give a reply. I got the feeling that Mion had been acting weird for a while now. Like she was flustered by emotions or something.
いや
No.
Was that a sob? My favorite track of this game. Mion? Are you crying?
私嫌だって言ったじゃない。
I said no. I don't want to.
私なんかに押し付けられても困るって。
I don't want you to push this onto someone like me.
別に押し付けるつもりなんかないよ。
I'm not trying to push anything onto you.
明日の夜だけでいいんだ。
It's just for tomorrow night.
嘘だったじゃない。
That was a lie.
What? Mion. What was she talking about?
綿流しの夜だけって言って
Saying it's just for the night of Tatarigoroshi.
結局ずっとだった。
And then it was forever.
嘘つき。
Liar.
でもおあいこかな。
But I guess we're even, huh?
私全然あなたとの約束守ってないから。
I couldn't keep the promise I made with you.
あの子はずっとほったらかしだしね。
I left her alone all this time.
I have no idea what to say to that. Mion was clearly now talking to someone other than me. I didn't know who. All I could do was listen to her in a daze.
あれからずっと帰ってこないのに、あの子のことをもう一度押し付けるためだけに
You
また
never
電話をしてきたんですね。
came back after that. And now you call me again to put you on to me.
本当に
You're
ず
so
るい人。
unfair.
ねえあなたサトシ君なんでしょう。
Hey, yeah, Satoshi-kun, aren't you?
ミオン、さっきから何の話だ？
Mion, what are you talking about? When I said her name, whatever spell was on Mion was released.
あ
Ah?
ごめん。 なんでもないの。
It's nothing.
ちょっとケイちゃんの今の電話にそっくりな電話を昔受けたことがあって。
It's just that I got a phone call a lot like the one you're making now. A long time ago.
それひょっとしてサトシか？
Was it from Satoshi? Mion didn't answer. All I could hear were sobs coming through the receiver.
ごめんね。
Sorry.
ちょっと私寝ぼけてるみたい。
I think I'm still a little tipsy.
変なとこで感情的になっちゃった。
I got all weirdly emotional.
ごめんね。焦ったでしょ。
Sorry. I probably scared you.
I had no idea how it happened. But I was pretty sure that last year, on this very day, Satoshi had called Mion and told her to bring Satoko to the festival. And when she asked why he needed her to do it, he replied the same way I just did. There's this pattern of Keiichi doing things just like Satoshi-kun before he disappeared, like Rena said in Onikakushi-hen.
サトシ、祭りに行かなかったんだな。
Satoshi didn't go to the festival, did he?
うん。
Yeah.
用事があるから自分は行けないって言って。
He's...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. He said he had something to do and couldn't make it.
代わりに私にサトコを祭りに連れて行ってくれって。
And he told me to take Satoko there in his place.
その時サトシも言ったんだな。
At the time, Satoshi said it too, didn't he?
サトコを頼むって。
Did he leave Satoko to you?
うん。
Yeah,
言ったよ。
he did.
明日の夜だけ頼むってね。
Just for tomorrow night.
ケイちゃんの言い方があまりにもよく似てたんで。
The way you said it was just like how he did.
ちょっと思い出して取り乱しちゃった。
I just got a little upset. Caught up in memory and all.
I didn't expect this. Satoshi had given her the exact same phone call 1 year ago today. Mion kept going after that. That he was lying. That he told her it would only be for the night of the festival.
そうだったな。
I get it.
サトシはその数日後に
A few days
消えた。
later, Satoshi disappeared. Disappeared might have been a rather vague way to put it. Whether he ran away or not, Satoshi left, abandoning Satoko.
そう。
Yes,
転校でもなく家出でもなく
he didn't
消
transfer
えたの。
or run away from home. He disappeared.
And then, an idea far more indistinct than even fog crossed my mind. Satoshi made exactly the same phone call as me last year. Why would Satoshi make the exact same call? If, in the truest sense, he really made the exact same phone call as I am right now. In the incident where their aunt was beaten to death, could it...
サトシだ。
Satoshi!
え、
Huh?
何が？
What was that?
Last year, Satoko had been constantly abused by her uncle's wife, their aunt too. Her aunt abused her the most. And on that night, in the name of Oyashiro-sama's curse, she was taken from this world. If I thought about that, everything made perfect sense, didn't it?
去年サトコのおばが殴り殺されたじゃないか。
Last year, Satoko's aunt was beaten to death, wasn't she?
あれサトシってことは考えられないか？
Would it be impossible for Satoshi to have? No, but that would mean... But then, Satoshi... He was a coward who abandoned Satoko and ran away, wasn't he? How could Satoshi resolve himself to kill a person to save Satoko? It was unthinkable.
私も実はそれを疑ったことがある。
I actually consider that as well.
サトシには悪いけど、
Though it'd be mean to Satoshi.
A few days later, he disappeared. On Satoko's birthday. When I first heard it, I flew into a rage. What a cruel day to have run away on. But, now that I thought about it like this, the story changed completely. Satoshi had probably been even less calm than I was now. He was her big brother, related by blood, watching his little sister be abused day in and day out. Maybe that's why he couldn't keep calm. And that was why the corpse of their aunt, beaten to death, was so easily discovered. Satoshi lost himself in his anger and hadn't hidden the corpse. He permitted a beginning to occur. If the police conducted a full-blown investigation, it was easy to imagine they wouldn't take long to pin down Satoshi as the culprit. Satoshi. He wished for a return to peaceful days with Satoko, and though he achieved it for a time, he had been steadily driven into a corner. And then, he wanted to at least hold out until Satoko's birthday. But finally, they nailed him. At the time, Satoshi had been carrying the savings he had amassed to buy Satoko a giant stuffed animal for a birthday present. He would buy the stuffed animal as a gift, and then get caught. Or he could use the money to disappear. That was the choice he had been forced to make. And he decided not to make Satoko the sister of a murderer. If that was the case, then it must have been an unspeakably bitter decision. All that money he'd saved wanting to see Satoko happy, he had to use it to make her sad, and used the savings, and disappeared. To Tokyo if the rumors were true.
サトシはそれで消えたのか。
Was that how Satoshi disappeared?
それはわからない。
I don't know.
大石なんかはそう思ってるみたいだけどね。
That Oishi guy seems to think that way, though.
Oishi. Had he been slowly driven into a corner by that repulsive man's pig-headed pursuit?
確かに状況証拠は揃ってるけど、多分ケイちゃんの推理は外れだと思う。
The circumstantial evidence is all there. But I think your deduction is wrong.
県内のどっかで捕まったろくでなしが犯行を自供したっていうし。
They caught some crazy drug addict somewhere in the prefecture, and he apparently turned himself in for the crime.
That was right. The deviant had confessed, and the incident was solved.
そいつは本当にただの異常者で、ひなみ沢とは何の縁もない男だった。
They said he really was just a crazy person, and that he had no ties to Hinamizawa,
もちろんサトシとも何の関係もない。
and no relationship with Satoshi, of course.
だからそんな奴がサトシの身代わりになって嘘をついてくれたなんて到底思えないし。
I mean, I have a pretty hard time believing the guy would lie in Satoshi's place.
You couldn't just arbitrarily decide like that. You never know where or how humans are tied together. If that guy took the blame, then it was the perfect crime. Of course, if it really was a perfect crime, there would have been no reason for Satoshi to vanish.
それにサトシには逃亡資金なんてなかったと思う。
Plus, I don't think Satoshi had the kind of money to run away.
サトシが預金を下ろした日、
That day, he withdrew all his savings.
これは誰に言っても信じてくれないんだけど、
No matter who I tell this to, nobody believes me, but
サトコのために買うと言ってたぬいぐるみが売れてショーケースからなくなってたの。
that stuffed animal he said he was buying for Satoko, It was gone from the display. Sold.
きっとサトシが買ったに違いない。
It must have been Satoshi.
ちょっと待てよ。
Wait a minute.
逃走資金に使わないでぬいぐるみを買うために使ったならサトコのところへ帰るはずだろ。
If he didn't use the money to flee and bought the stuffed animal instead, he would have gone back to Satoko, wouldn't he?
ぬいぐるみを買ってそれを届けもせずに蒸発するなんて考えられない。
It seems unbelievable he'd buy it and then disappear without having given it to her.
うん。
Yeah.
だからわからなくなっちゃうんだよ。
So now I don't know what happened.
まとまったお金があるならともかく、貯金を全部使っちゃったならサトシは無一文。
It would be one thing if he had the money, but if he used all his savings on it, he'd be totally broke.
お金もなく逃亡生活ができるほど世の中は甘くないよ。
You can't live a life on the run without money in this world.
I didn't get it. After all that, I was understanding Satoshi less and less. The two of us fell silent. I couldn't remember how we even got on this topic.
ごめん。
Sorry.
どこで話が脱線しちゃったんだか。
I think we got off topic.
サトコの件ね、安心していいよ。
Satoko, right? Don't worry.
実はもうちゃんと誘ってあるんだよ。
I actually already invited her.
え
Huh?
本当かよ。
You serious?
祭りの準備でみんなで神社に行った時さ、サトコを祭りに呼ぼうって話になったんだよ。
When everyone went to the shrine to prepare for the festival, we started talking about getting Satoko to the festival itself.
それで集会所の電話でそのまま電話して誘ったんだ。
So then I used the phone at the assembly hall to invite her.
おじのやつよそよそしくて勝手にしろみたいな感じだったけど、とりあえず OK はしてくれた。
Her uncle was acting distant and didn't seem to care at all, but in any case, we got the okay from him.
明日みんなで待ち合わせしていくことになってるんだよ。
We decided to all meet up and go together tomorrow.
安心した？
You okay with that?
サトシ。
Satoshi.
バカ、俺はサトシじゃないって。
Stupid. I'm not Satoshi. I was really little relieved. I hadn't needed to make the phone call. Satoko had already been invited to the festival. Not in a way that smelled of blood. A way to leave her uncle alone to create time for me to kill him. They purely wanted Satoko to enjoy herself, so they invited her. In the end, it was the same, but I was happy for that slight difference.
すまないな。
Sorry.
俺が電話をするまでもなかった。
I guess I didn't need to call then.
昨日にしろ今日にしろ変な話ばかりしてすまないな。
First yesterday, now today. Sorry for saying such weird things. What did you say yesterday? I already forget. Oh. When he went into a murderous rage and lashed
忘れ
out
てく
at
れ。
the people around him. Just forget about it. Oh,
こっ
sorry.
ちこそ本当に申し訳ない。
Just forget about it.
No, I'm the one who should apologize.
誰にもなく取り乱しちゃって。
Losing it like that isn't me.
本当にごめん。
I'm really sorry.
I don't remember her losing it. We apologized to each other for a little bit.
じゃあ俺はこれで失礼するな。
Alright, I'll be going now.
おやすみ。
Good night.
何の用事？
What did you have to do?
As if interrupting our parting words, Mion struck straight where it hurt.
それもまたサトシと同じように言えない？
Or is it like with Satoshi, where you can't say?
バカ。
Stupid.
だから俺はサトシじゃないって言ってるだろ。
I keep telling you, I'm not Satoshi.
うん。
Yeah,
そんなのは分かってるよ。
yeah, I know that.
I deflected her, with a response that wasn't really an answer. Mion didn't hound me anymore after that.
じゃあ今度こそおやすみな。
Alright, this time for real. Good night.
どうしてケイちゃんが サトシ君と全く同じ電話をしてきたのかわからないけれど。
I don't know why you're giving me the same phone call as Satoshi-kun did, but
うん、なんでもない。
yeah, never mind.
ごめんね。おやすみ。
I'm sorry. Good night.
切るぞ。
I'm hanging up. Hojo Satoshi. Just who are you? I scorned you as a coward who ran away, abandoning his sister. I always thought you didn't have the right to call yourself for nii-nii. But now I don't know what to think. Oyashiro-sama's curse on the 4th year, their aunt's death, and Satoshi's disappearance. And now, me trying to carry out Oyashiro-sama's curse on the 5th. Oddly enough, what I was going to do overlapped perfectly with Satoshi, the day before the curse. No, that wasn't all. If we start back from Satoko being abused, then I'd been overlapping with Satoshi for days already. When I talked to Mion before, she asked me if I was Satoshi. If that was the first impression a third party like Mion got, then it was probably true. Then, as Satoshi had accomplished, I would succeed in the murder. But that was the extent to which we overlapped. I was far calmer than Satoshi, and more calculating. I could actually grow calmer, the more enthusiastic I became. That's why I wouldn't follow in Satoshi's footsteps. I would snip him cleanly out of the world, and then get our peaceful life back. Maybe Satoshi has been with me ever since I chose to use Satoshi's bat as my weapon. No, maybe even longer than that. When I decided I'd be her nii-nii. Maybe Satoshi had been residing within me then too. Satoshi, were you really a coward? Or are you a true nii-nii, even now? The kind worthy of Satoko's love. I'd never met him, never spoken to him, didn't even know his face, and yet I felt so connected to him. I'd never felt that way before. Alrighty then. No gear, you don't get to loop again. You should have ended on that note. You have received new tips for the attention of those on the housewife slaughter incident case. Achievement unlocked. Possessed. Made your choice without looking back. Alright, so we'll save it here, and we'll pick this up on Monday. As always, Mondays and Thursdays are Higurashi nights, so if you want more of this, tune in then. Tuesdays, they're going to be Rule of Rose nights, but I'm not sure if I'm going to start the story intense playthrough this coming Tuesday. It might be it might be another week, because I have a lot to research and I have a lot to get a feel for, to make everything just perfect, or as close as I can make it. I'm just gonna say the latter. Yeah. Expect Rule of Rose Tuesdays, but we don't know if we're gonna have that next week, so it might be just some random game. So Mondays and Thursdays will continue being this game, this wonderful, horrifying, thrilling, intriguing game. And whether it's Mondays, Thursdays, or it's Tuesdays, I hope to see you then. With that in mind, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. And as always, if you like what you see, please feel free to click like, comment, follow. Join our Discord if you haven't. Any feedback you can give me at all will help me tailor my future content towards your interests. I'm Regulus Pastor, and until next time, Wane!